Welcome, welcome. And we are live. Hi, everybody. Come on into the room. Share this live. We have the beautiful, beautiful singing yoginis. That's how you say it? Jesus, you look so good. Oh my gosh. Go ahead and introduce yourself, love. I'm going to also introduce her. Her name is Estar, right?
Estar.
Estar. Sorry, I said Estar. That's so funny. Estar. I mean, sorry, Estar. This is Estar, y'all. She is an amazing yogini. I have seen her for a very long time on my own Instagram. She's been on my timeline just doing her own thing, like giving goddess vibes each and every time when I see her. She is an activist for our community when it comes down to breath work, overall health, wealth and healthness. Oh, well, healthness. Wow, my tongue. I'm sorry, y'all. It's kind of hot in here, and and I'm looking after my child as well. But wealth and health and wellness. She is definitely somebody who you want to know and want to introduce yourself into the community. So I just want to let you guys know that she will be joining us today and talking about health and wellness when it comes down to the womb. And also, she is definitely where located in New York, I believe.
Yeah.
So if you're in the New York state, please go ahead and hit her up, and also go visit her on her what is it called? You have, I'm gonna let you do it. You have a lot of things coming up. You have a lot of events coming up with your yoga and also your Patreon. So go ahead and introduce yourself, lovely. You got this.
Wholeness vibrations, everyone. For here in space and who will be seeing this in the future. My name is Estar. I am the singing yogini. I sing, I make music. It's on all platforms, and I do yoga. I'm a ceremonialist and a holistic woman. So I hold space for the liberation of women, also men, but I truly feel deeply that as the wombs heal, the earth heals. So I prioritize a lot of my goddesses. And yeah, I'm plant based. I work with sacred medicines such as the magic mushrooms. And my offerings. Okay, so I'm on Patreon and I'm holding space for daily breathwork sessions, weekly yoga classes, and for ceremonies. There's actually a ceremony tonight, the full moon ceremony, which I have a very strong feeling will be very beautiful and transformative for a lot of goddesses. I'm also on OnlyFans, liberating people sexually by
Yes.
sexual journey, my sexual healing journey, my sacred sexual healing journey, and that includes nude yoga, meditations, breath work. Just everything I can't post on most of these platforms, I'm deciding to post onto that platform so you can subscribe there. And if you're in person and you want to see me in person, I have an upcoming event called the Yes Goddess event, and this is for the goddesses, so that we can come together and do the healing work together in union in person. And I also will be performing there. There may, I think there should be two other performers there as well. So I'm building that up
Ooh.
out. So it's gonna be really, 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 really beautiful. And so far, that's really all I have to share. Oh, and definitely follow me on Instagram.
Absolutely. And as you said that, I went ahead and posted your Instagram link and your Patreon link in the comments. So, y'all, please click those links. This goddess is on it. And as I'm cleaning up puke, we're going to go ahead and get into this panel. And also, you guys, if you guys wanted to come up on the panel as well, you are more than welcome to share your experiences. This is about healing the womb. And when I say healing the womb, I'm talking about from an ill womb, into the goddess womb, from the ill one, for the sick, from the what Queen of Food would say is like a angry womb syndrome, from having a womb that wasn't doing as well because of what we've done, from traumatic experiences and everything of that nature, into a very beautiful loving yourself, and also in the journey of loving yourself, um type of womb. So I wanted to ask my beautiful Esther. Sorry, I said Estar. I always called you Estar. Even when I go like when I message you or like when we talked on the phone or whatever, I called you Easter. I apologize. I do apologize. But Easter, Esther, right?
So my parents named me Esther out of the Bible. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had a reawakening, a spiritual awakening, and I realized that Esther, the etymology of it is stara, which is Persian. And I said, what if I call myself a star? So that's
Yeah.
why I pronounce it that way.
Okay. Say it one more time for me. I'm sorry, I have an accent. I'm trying to say it.
Estar.
Estar. Estar. Okay. So the beautiful Estar, I have a few questions for you because when we went over womb wellness and healing on your Instagram live, which was so beautiful, I definitely wanted to know more about your journey, especially since in our when you we was on doing our breath work, and one of the lovely goddesses said something about your journey and your background. I kind of wanted to go deeper into that, if that's okay. Um, so for the first question, can you describe your womb journey for us so far, and what makes what makes a toxic womb go into a healing womb?
So I actually had a very tumultuous uh relationship with my womb growing up. I actually
Mhm.
didn't know that it was my creative center. I didn't honor it either. So I got my first period and there was no women around me. So I kind of, uh, my first reaction to my womb doing anything was adverse. Um, uh, because my father, my brother, they didn't know it was happening. They thought it was disgusting. So I started to think that my womb wasn't a beautiful place at a young age, and then looking for and seeking for fraternal affection and being hugged and loved by my father. I let so many men inside of me that really had no business being inside of me. You know, as a young girl, I was with a lot of grown men, and I had a lot of sex, specifically because I thought it was um, a way to exchange. I thought that in exchange for my body, I would receive love. But then I found that that wasn't true. And it was when I truly found that wasn't true through physically, mentally, spiritually being abused by one of my sexual partners, I decided to make a absolute change to the way that I was experiencing my own womb. Because I had, prior to that, I went and I got an IUD inserted into my cervix. So my periods became irregular because I was afraid of being pregnant. And then prior to that, it was just a lot of discomfort and pain during my periods. So I didn't really have a good relationship with my womb, and healing that, it was the removal of that IUD, and then just raising my standards in terms of who I do let inside of my body. Um, and now celibacy, so I'm currently celibate. Um,
Mm.
Changing the way I consume foods, because eating womb healing foods is really important, and that's what I decided to incorporate in my healing journey as well. Was I'm plant based, and I'm currently fasting and going to be raw vegan this month, just to,
Oh.
yeah, continue to purify and cleanse. Um, and I've gone raw vegan multiple times, so two other times for 30 days. And that was actually because of Muhammad Ashby. But then I found that that was something that I learned in the Sacred Woman book by Queen Afua, that going raw is also healing for the womb. So I didn't even know I was doing that, but I decided
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that. And then I started doing just womb breathing, breathing into my womb, connecting with my womb, and talking to my womb, realizing that
Mm.
she actually responds.
Yes.
So interesting, like wow, I actually have this like sentient portal inside of me. So then learning how to honor that with, certain rituals like my spiritual baths and certain cleanses that I may do, and also yoni steaming. Um, and also massage therapy for my womb, and just
Mm.
honoring that space as a portal. for what it is, and keeping it clean. And wearing clothes that honor my vagina as well, like clothes that allow me to breathe down there. And also being naked has been really healing for my womb, as well. Being naked and going into nature and peeing, believe it or not. And like that, like all of that has been really, really healing for my womb.
Absolutely. I love how you just said everything that also resonates with me when it comes down to womb healing. Being naked. I actually sleep naked now. Like, yeah, it's actually pretty good for the body. I never knew until I researched it. And allowing our womb to breathe, and also talking, like you said, to the womb. I remember talking to my womb, and this sparked me when you said this. I had to, apologize. I apologize for all the men, all the toxic energy that I invited into her, and not really acknowledging that she is a beautiful goddess and entity itself. Like I have a portal, you know, and not, acknowledging that, my energy is sacred. Oh my God, just thinking about it makes me, a bit emotional, but it's just like when I apologized to her, she opened up like a flower, and it's like she responded through energy. The sacral, I felt a whole lot of sacral chakra energy, just, spiraling and sparking up when I spoke to her, and it made me emotionally just break down in that moment, because the womb is something that we need to acknowledge as like something that's powerful and sacred and divine. And growing up and not, having father figures around, or just, not knowing, we could get so easily entangled with energies that don't really serve us when it comes down to, lower vibrational men, um, and STDs, as in, like, sexually transmitted demons. So I would love to, speaking of that, let's go into that real quick if you like. And go ahead. I'd like to hear from what you would like to say as well.
Oh, like in terms of STDs, I actually got like a scientific one. Um, I from having sex with multiple people and not knowing who they really were. Like I was in orgies and I was doing way too much with my sexual energy, and it was a lot of disrespect in terms of the people that I allowed into my body. So I ended up getting gonorrhea, yeast infections, and urinary tract infections. Um,
Ooh.
when it comes to the sexually transmitted demons that I acquired, that was actually, I found, was intentional in the way that I um I received it. I did it intentionally, believe it or not.
Intentionally?
Yeah, I did. I did it intentionally. I was conscious when I was doing it. So, and I remember the words I said. It was like it wasn't even me. It was like my spirit was calling for this individual's demons to.
What?
Yeah. So
Wow.
I willingly absorbed that energy. Um, I think we all do. It's really just a matter of like acknowledging how much power you have, and that
Mm-hmm.
you've ordained everything that's happening. And I think that's really tapping into the goddess,
Mm-hmm.
that really putting that whole victim mentality and narrative on the shelf. Like, no, I did that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did that. And the more and more you can own up to it and say, I did that, that was
Mm-hmm.
me, you start to heal drastically, because now you don't point fingers at any of these men or any of the situations that happen to you, because in the depths of you, you have your intuition, and your intuition already knew. Your intuition already knew, but you decided to go forth with it, and your intuition told you what would occur. And so it's not a matter of you making the wrong decision. You were actually supposed to make it so that you can heal. How are you going to heal if you never experience pain? So I think that this is all about, putting ourselves in positions where we can do the healing that our mothers and their mothers weren't able to do. Because if we don't
Mm-hmm.
experience essentially what they went through in our own way, then we won't be able to actually heal what they went through. Um,
Okay.
and I think that's just probably like anecdotally speaking, because I feel like if your mother really broke the curse, you know, um, having a sick womb, of having very poor boundaries and not acknowledging her power, then you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't even be faced with that at all. That would
Mm-hmm.
never be an option for you. Um, so yeah, I knew I had to do the work in order to get to the next part of my journey. I was literally on LSD. Was I on LSD? I think I was on LSD, and I was seeing so
Oh no.
much that I let inside of me. Like I literally saw it. Um,
Oh my God.
and I welcomed it in. Why? Because I was like, I'm gonna heal all of this. Like, it was
Yeah,
like,
that's
it was like
so.
I'm gonna heal all of this, and watch me be like so
Yes.
inspirational and healing because I did this work. And whatever
Yeah.
I got to do, I'm gonna do it because honestly and genuinely, I did love him. I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still in the process of learning to love myself. And then I found that I had the ability to transmutate um, all this energy. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and I always say this about negative energy. Negative energy is not inherently bad, right? Because we need negative energy. We need to polarize, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you expect to go up if you don't come down? How do you expect to build if you don't break? How do like you need the polarity? So I
Mm-hmm.
absorbed the polarity to propel me into greatness. Um, yeah, and at the time I actually was aware of my spirit and what my spirit was doing. So for all the women that have gone through the trauma and the pain and whatever it is that you've obtained through and absorbed through your womb, um, the greatest part is forgiving yourself, right? um, but for also like taking accountability.
Okay. Yep. Exactly. I was just
take,
about to remind you of that. Mm-hmm.
take accountability because it's so easy to say like, oh, this man gave me this demon, or this man was incredibly toxic. And even if that is true, who
You
are
did it.
yeah,
Right.
you put yourself in the environment of this man. You
Right.
kept yourself around him if you were in a relationship with him, or you felt that you shouldn't be around him, but you still.
Still did it anyway.
So that all of that, just learning where you can take accountability for your own trauma is probably one of the most healing things you can do. And then forgiving yourself for that, more so for not necessarily accepting or honoring the part of you that did do what you did, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you can't take back that you did it, but for so long you were ashamed, you were angry of the fact that you did it. So it's healing that those feelings and that sentiment towards yourself that I think will be the cure for having these sexually transmitted demons inside of you.
Absolutely. That was such a powerful word. Like when you said the accountability, that is the first step. Absolutely. And when you said, girl, when you said, I'm gonna heal all of this, I said, yeah, bro. I felt like when you said that, it sparked something within me that I remembered me actually being that way, getting myself in tune or getting myself entangled with, men that, I know that wasn't, very that much high vibrational, but I was attracting that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do the work. Fuck it, let me go and experience this shit because I know how to heal myself. I'm gonna do that. And this was like years ago. But it's so easy to get entangled in that and keep going down that road because it can get a bit addicting, that energy, so in a certain way. So when I decided to heal, and here's the thing, I would decide to heal and then go right back into it, and then decide to heal and go right back. And I knew that I had to break the cycle or break certain habits. So, in what way did you break those habits of getting into that cycle of toxicity for your womb?
So the last person that I was with that I felt brought forth some of that toxicity, he also just so happened to be a person who brought forth a lot of healing um, in my on my journey of healing my womb.
Mm-hmm.
It was the partner that I had tantric sex with. But when it comes to like the partners that I had that were very toxic, what I see in terms of my pattern with me and dissolving those chains, um,
Mm-hmm.
or those cycles, it was when it got physical. Like if they ever put their hands on me to hurt me, that was when I just completely disconnected the energy. And it was almost like, honestly, the last dude who put his hands on me, and this was recent, he just kicked me out of his house, and he didn't like try to like pummel me or anything. He just was trying to drag me out of his house because I told him I wouldn't leave because I was butt naked. um and I was like, you know what, thank you, man, thank you for doing that, because now I could just move on past this energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gave me a reason to just completely let go of that cycle. And I think that same reason can be anything, but that's why we have to have a clear understanding of what we will and won't accept. And I think the stronger you have, the stronger your vetting system, the stronger your intentionality and your awareness of what you will and will not accept, so your boundaries, right? That's what's going to allow you to navigate the healing journey within yourself even better. So even like in the process of fasting, you have to have discipline to know, okay, I will and I won't consume these things. So it has to be the
Mm-hmm.
same for your vagina, like, and for your womb. I will and I won't consume this type of energy, you know? So if you know, and this is why like having sex, like, and we spoke about this earlier, was like giving a man 90 days before you have sex with him. That's something that I'm going to be practicing myself, just to see, like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like, are you even worthy of being inside of me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really holding yourself to a higher and a higher and a higher uh, pedestal, if you will. I mean, you're a goddess, so you might as well, you might as well be at the greatest, at the pinnacle, you know. And it's not about stooping lower to appease someone and to appease a man, right? Because you want to be held, you want to be touched, and that's why it's so important that we care for ourselves in that way. We hold
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, we touch ourselves, you know what I mean? We speak to ourselves, and we feel that love, that unconditional form of love that we would want outside of ourselves, and that will magnetize a partner that can honestly honor you and your womb. But that
Mm-hmm.
all starts from within. So, you know, dismantling these cycles does begin with you honoring yourself, setting clear boundaries, and doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh my God. I'm so glad I did this with you. You are such a divine channel. And also I love to add on to that, because I see this within you right now as I'm looking at you. You have a lot of sexual energy because you know you're a Scorpio too, but that is also because you are very creative. I can see that beautiful goddess in the background. She painted that, y'all. She painted that beautiful goddess Oshun with the loaded Jesus. That's crazy. But is wait, you can be able to do that celibacy thing because you'll be able to channel it in another way, so you don't have to like go back into having physical sex, or sex with another person. You can just have that sex within yourself, having intimacy with yourself through art, through your music, through going out into nature, through your breathing techniques. Today, when we did our breathing techniques, by the way, y'all, she has amazing classes every day, daily, breathing techniques at 11:11. So I'm currently taking her classes, and when we did our breathing techniques today, I felt the energy within my womb, and I'm feeling my, what is it called? The little thing.
The Kundalini.
Yes, the kundalini, but not that with the. I'm not really into the sexual things anymore. Me myself. I've been 10 months celibate, so I don't really. I don't know. I'm healing in another way, because of some things that's been traumatizing. But what is that thing called? It's a woman part that we have, the bulb, the clitoris. Jesus Christ, the
Girl,
clitoris.
You forgot about the clitoris?
Yes, I did. Look, that's crazy, right? But nah, there's a lot of sexual healing that I need to do. But I felt the breath do something to my clitoris, and I'm feeling the energy within it as you're telling us to squeeze our sexual organs as we, hold our breath and release. And it was just crazy to me. So there's many ways we can channel our sexual energy. Without physically going off and having sex, if we need to detox or relax from doing that. So I just wanted to add that because I see that in you, and I see that you definitely can do it. You could do it. You definitely could do it.
Yeah,
Like.
I'm full. This is like a month. It's been a full month plus
Hmm.
of me not having sex. I am good. Like I like
Yeah.
I don't need to have sex. It's not something that is a necessity for me anymore because
Yeah.
I just like if ever I do want to express myself sexually, I just do. Like I can't, like I don't need a partner to do it anymore. I just like okay, I want to get into that vibe, then I will dance.
Yeah.
I will dance and move the energy through my body. I will do yoga and move the energy through my body. I will
Hmm.
touch my body. I will sing. I will paint. I will I will go outside. There's just so many things that you can do when you
Hmm.
feel that sexual energy. And now I'm actively alchemizing that sexual energy to make me money. So y'all,
Yeah.
just like don't even trip. Like you honestly, your sexual energy is worth millions of dollars. So you just giving that to a man who doesn't honor or appreciate you is like and that's why you be feeling drained. It's because it's like a depreciation of your own value. Because
Yeah.
you're saying, okay, this $1 million womb, this $1 million vagina this person deserves it. But you know damn well they don't deserve no $1 million womb. So
Hmm.
they're gonna come into you and depreciate your value by honestly like fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
like I encourage women to like don't fuck. Why are we fucking? If you want to fuck, you're gonna fuck yourself over. So you're gonna fuck yourself up. You're gonna fuck your vagina up. Don't fuck. Make love.
Mhm.
Put that energy. And another thing I always say is, refrain from saying sorry, refrain from being apologetic of
Mhm.
your energy, of your words, of who you are, because all of that is emanating from your womb. The need to want to apologize for simply being you. That's something that you don't need to perpetuate into the universe, because then you stop magnetizing things, you start blocking your own blessings, by embodying the frequency of lack. That's literally what sorrow means. It like sorrow means a deep sense of loss and lack. If you search up the etymology of sorrow, that's literally what it means. So to be that, I mean, why would you want to be that? And so if a man comes into you and he's saying he's sorry, like that is not a vibe. You know what I mean? So be conscious of what your partner is saying to you when he's inside of you. So if he's not glorifying you and speaking life over into you, and even making mention of like the manifestations that you guys might be pulling through, like the house, whatever it is you guys want to materialize, because you guys have the ability to birth anything in that moment. So be conscious of the sex that you're having.
Absolutely. I feel that heavy, bro. When you said the $1 million womb, I've it's crazy that you say that because in the past with me, I definitely saw myself as somebody who can manifest, and I always thought my vessel was, whenever I got into a relationship, I'm always helping someone manifest their dreams and desires because that's what I want. I want to do that, but at the end of the day, I felt as if with my womb and my portal, I felt like I was giving so much of it and helping them get to where they need to get to and everything of that. And I was being depleted and drained off of my own essence. So, and like you said, I'm not blaming anybody, but it's just seeing the things that I've done that accumulated so much trauma to my womb. It just puts a perspective that I definitely need, to stop, which I did stop, but I'm just glad that I'm able to be aware of that now, because when we don't know our value and we don't appreciate our womb or our bodies or ourselves, we do attract that in our lives, and and people like that in our lives that just deplete us. So now that we do know it's $1 million womb, and we treat it with care and love, and we forgive ourselves and take accountability, we're able to manifest and harness our own energy and step into a divine energy. Like I'm talking about. Oh my God! I remember when I was like this, the divine goddess energy. So speaking of divine goddess energy, oh, actually, I just let me go to the comments first. I apologize, y'all, about not looking at your questions or getting to them, but this is going to be let me go ahead and get to Libby first. It says, Janae, how did you deal with the clown you saw? And do you classify it as a demon? So goddess, what Libby is saying, I told a story before that I was dealing with someone, and when I was dealing with this person, or having a sexual intercourse with this person, um classified as something else, I'll say that, but I'm just gonna just keep it as that. What happened was, while this guy was entering inside of me, I was very scared, and very um you know I didn't like it. And I was always fearful of, for some reason, hold on, my baby's waking up. For some reason I was always fearful of this guy coming inside of me, but I allowed him to do it anyway. Um, at one point in my life, like years ago, and what happened was, this guy, as he's entering inside of me, I saw a clown appear out of nowhere behind him, and it shocked me. Because who sees a clown just come out of nowhere? You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, I always thought as a demon. I always thought, it was a demon that was entering inside of me and everything of that nature, from that sexual encounter. Um, Later on, I someone told me that that type of demon or type of energy is called the puppet master, which is the grand manipulator, the person that the demonic energy that can manipulate people and abuse people, that's located inside of people. So, Libby, what to answer your question, how do I deal with the clown? I saw dealing with it. I just did spiritual baths, cleansing my womb in a way that I spiritually praying, meditating on forgiveness, and meditating on bright light within my womb to heal it from the that situation. Also, I go to the waters, and I ask Oshun to cleanse me. I was always swimming in the rivers. I've also went to the ocean and asked Yamiya to cleanse my womb as well, which also helped me, grant me with a daughter. So to ask you to answer that question, that's how I dealt with that situation. I was just cleansing myself and forgiving myself, but it wasn't immediate. I would say that I wasn't immediately that I did that, because that energy was still permeating through my body, or my essence are still attached. So I for some reason went off and started to do even more harm to my body and my vessel by getting attached and getting with more puppet masters and stuff like that. So I had to slow down and then do the healing work once, I had enough, just like the beautiful goddess said, once I had enough. Once I saw that, all right, no, okay, now I gotta go. Now I gotta do something about this, because nah, this ain't it. So, at the end of the day, that's how I dealt with that, and I do classify it as a STD, a sexually transmitted demon, because after attracting that and dealing with that person, a lot of downward spirals happened in my life. You know, I went through a lot of humiliation, especially dealing with this person. It was tragic and very, very toxic at that time for me after that situation. And after that situation, my life really hasn't really went back to being how it was before. And it's okay because I learn and I grow and I evolve and it's fine. But when it comes down to, you know, that sexual transmitted demon, I did the spiritual route. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, sis, I saw a literal demon when a guy came into me. Have that ever happened to you?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen way too many of them. Um, I seen
Jesus.
clowns, man. They really out here, and
Yeah.
they will
And you
tell.
said he was on
They
LSD,
will
right?
actually tell you. So it wasn't a clown that I saw. This was a lot darker than a clown. It wasn't a clown that I saw. It was an eye.
I?
Mhm. It was almost like it was wearing like he was wearing a cloak of pure darkness over his skin. It looked like it just looked like a cloak of darkness that had an eye, and the eye was over his heart. And you could see it from the front and from the back. And it was this massive evil eye. That's what it looked like. It looked like a big eye. It was black. You could see the frame of it. And I even saw it blinking. So I was like, okay, this shit is here. Like,
Whoa. Have you ever like researched what did you see?
well, I didn't research it. I just kind of felt it, and I tapped in with myself. Like, what do I think this is?
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like it was shame.
Mm.
It was like a cloak of shame. Um, yeah, shame that would it manifests in multiple different ways, like shame and jealousy. Um,
Mm.
and it lived in his heart.
Mm.
It stemmed from his heart, just poured into the rest of his body. Um, yeah,
Wow.
and he was very ashamed of his body too. You know, he was ashamed of his sexuality, quite a lot of different things. So it makes sense that that would be what it was. And so I I wanted him to be better. I just wanted him to, not have to deal with that anymore. Um, so I went to see if I could filter it out or something, but then I had to deal with it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't show up in my heart. I didn't let it, but it showed up in my womb, and I saw
Mm.
the eye on the back of my womb every day for like a whole year.
Wow.
I had to literally, and I'm so grateful because I don't see it anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
when I came off the LSD, I was still able to see it.
Wow.
And then the same eye that was on me was above me, like in my bedroom.
Jesus. Yeah, the LSD does tap you into like some this what they say, hidden potentials, some powers. And so when people sometimes get off of it, they're able to still see what they were seeing on it because now they're more tapped in or aware. That's what I've researched before. And also I was in Thailand and I microdosed one time, microdosed, and it still was crazy to me. So that is crazy. Have you ever thought about like what did you do to get, since you don't see it anymore, for the collective? What did you do to get rid of it?
Oh, I had to move. he was stalking me. I was going through a lot with his energy. He was possessing my family members. Because it wasn't him per se, like it wasn't his ego. It
Mm-hmm.
it was the entity, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The entity was becoming very pervasive. So I had to find, because people all of a sudden were trying to kill me. Um, whoa, like, my life is in danger. So I had to literally just move out of my grandmother's house and start paying rent and just like really isolate. One thing I'm gonna say to somebody, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you cannot heal in the same place where you were
Toxic.
broken. Yeah, where you were traumatized. It's not smart. Don't go there. That's not the place for you to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be there. You got to move out of that space and eventually, heal it from within you, because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise you're going to go up against a lot of entities. So just
Mm-hmm.
move out, be on your own for a while and do the healing work so you can see what you carry and who you are inside.
Yes. Yes. Your own essence, who
Mhm.
you are. That's so beautiful. Thank you for saying that, Goddess. And just to add on to that, when it comes down to moving out of toxic environments, or just moving out of a place where you've gotten sick, you know it can be hard, you know but it's just knowing, like you said, your value and your worth, and wanting to know who you are. Some people, some women out there are still battling, not knowing who they are because someone told them who they were, or they just didn't know how to connect to their womb or connect to themselves. They're so gone that they don't know how to connect to their wombs anymore. They don't know how to connect to themselves because it's been so battered. They've been so battered. Their womb's been so battered. Their anus been so battered. So much, confusion around their heart and their mind because they went against their selves for so long. Um, and just to speak out for those women that because I was one of them before. Just moving away from what made you ill in the first place is definitely something that will help you get better and heal yourself and help tap you into a power that you've never known before. Yes, my baby. So excuse me, go ahead. I'm gonna go on mute for a second. Um, can you answer this real quick? If you know the answer, someone had asked, can the womb be healed before menopause to manifest pregnancy? Do you know?
Mm. Okay, so when it comes to like menopause, from my awareness of that, there are so many like womb strengthening foods and practices that you can do, and very, very, very intentional conceiving processes that you can have with your partner. And in terms of, she said healing the womb before menopause to,
Yeah.
so long as, yeah, that's just tapping into fertility rituals at that point. You got,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, you got to get into your fertility rituals. That needs to be all you think about, day in, day out. Your eating habits, very important. And the energy that you carry in your womb is very important. So you gotta prioritize the work if you want to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
You got to prioritize the work, and you also, you can't be afraid of the menopause, because that just so happens to be what the divine wants for you. Then that's just the alignment, but it's also just really focusing on what you really desire in that moment and not desiring it but becoming a vibrational match for it. So if you're eating, meat and dairy, I would encourage you to stop, and prioritizing womb healing foods. Lots of fruits, lots of fresh raw veggies. Um, and
Yes.
yeah, getting into your movement practices as well. There's a lot of asanas that can stimulate fertility, like being like inverting. Like if you invert your energies, that can help you as well. And opening up the hips can also help you stimulate more and more womb healing, which can potentially, this is and that's the key. It's like none of this is really concrete, because if the most high isn't aligning for you to be pregnant, then that's just not the alignment. But I would say go into healing waters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go into healing waters and pray to we. I personally, I pray to Oshun and I pray to Yemoya. They definitely can help with fertility, and that's just really cleansing and purifying waters. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say fasting with water, liquid fasting, and then transitioning to raw plant based or high raw plant based lifestyle to help
Mm-hmm.
your womb in those ways, doing your yoni steams, your yoga, your breath work, and doing it with your partner, the person that you want to conceive with, having him in alignment with that energy as well, can definitely create more of a unified front. That's something that the most high will see is collaboration between you and your partner. um yeah, I'm in New York. Collaboration
It's it's okay.
between you and your partner will definitely stimulate a lot of womb healing if you do have a partner. I very much so hope you have a partner, because you don't want to be trying to force all this to happen so quickly. Definitely the process of conceiving, especially like as we as women get older, it has to become a very like intentional process. It's not to say that it can't happen. Just be as intentional as possible. When you do have sex, be very, very intentional. Let your intention be known and let it be shared and breathe into it, move into it. You know what I mean? Light your candles and pray. Pray. Prayer works.
That's so crazy. You said everything that I did to conceive my daughter.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Like I went to the waters. I always pray to Oshun when I go to the river. I ask for fertility and love and all these other things. But went to the ocean one time and I prayed to Yemaya. And Yemaya told me as I prayed to her and I gave offerings. And I sat there and I meditated just to hear the answer. She told me to fast for 9 days. I was going to, and it's weird because her number is 7, right? But I heard 9. So I was like, okay, shoot, I'll do. You said fast, okay, I'll do that because I gotta do that, I gotta do. So because I really wanted to conceive for myself, yes, but for my partner as well. My partner lost his first child at the time, so I oh well, my partner at the time, he's not my partner anymore, but he, I just wanted to give him another child and I wanted to have a happy life with him, so I asked for the Emaya to cleanse my womb. And she swept me in with her waves, but I swear to God, she swept me in with her waves and like completely smothered me with her water. But then when I listened to the fasting part, she told me to fast. So I did a raw vegan fast for 14 days, and I drank herbs um, and drank water and a lot of stuff that cleansed my colon and my body, to flush it out and to flush out the toxins within my body. Because Queen of Fuda says something about the colon being, on top of the womb. So it's linked in some type of way. So when I did all these things, like lo and behold, like within the next few weeks or 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, I was pregnant, and it definitely did a lot. So prayer, the meditation, the fasting, all that stuff. Summer days, it does really truly work, and this God, the goddess definitely. You said what herbs did I use? I used a special blend at the time made by my herbalist and my womb friend. Her name is Divine. Y'all know her as Divine. Her name is Jenye. She's actually supposed to be here and talk about a lot of herbs for the womb, but you know, it is what it is. You never know. I don't think she's gonna come up anytime soon because she's probably at work. But I did get in tune with her with the herbs, and it was a special blend. She didn't really tell me what was in the blend, but I know of certain things like hibiscus helps, red raspberry leaf helps, nettle helps. I have these in my pantry right now. Those are good herbs for the womb as well. Do you suggest any womb herbs,
Mo-
sis?
Um, motherwort.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about all the. I put jasmine in
Yeah, jasmine is good.
jasmine. I'm thinking about all the herbs I put in my yoni steams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also put dandelion in there too.
Uh
Um,
huh. Yeah. What is that?
calendula,
Yeah.
calendula is a good one too.
Yeah. I don't know how to say that word, but that's definitely a good one for the womb. But I would suggest, sis, Summer Days, to go invest in
Yeah.
that book, Sacred Woman. It's definitely the Bible for detoxing for womb healing. Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. Look into that. And oh wow. So she said PCOS and endometriosis are my issues.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't even know. I know more about endometriosis. I know that's a painful thing. I don't know what to tell you when it comes down to that. What do you think, sis? Because the book Sacred Woman would definitely direct you to the herbs you need. I think she did talk about those in particular in the book, actually. So if you went to the book, maybe you'll find what you need there.
Yeah, all I know is like that's all hormonal imbalances. Like those
Mm-hmm.
symptoms of hormonal imbalances. And so that's like linked directly to your lifestyle. And also, I mean, when you're talking about healing, you got to heal from a holistic perspective. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
being conscious and aware of the thought patterns that you're having. So if you're very much so stressed, angry, upset about certain things, that's going to show up in your womb, especially if you have been for years. If you're on any sort of birth control, come off of birth control. Birth control tends to have those symptoms as well. Like if you do get IUD, and then some of the what is that when they have the shot, they have the pill. All of those do create imbalances with your hormones, in addition to consuming animal byproducts that have hormones in them that will disrupt your endocrine system as well. So this to me is yeah, that's a hormonal imbalance, because when you're talking about the building of the lining, that has everything to do with the PSH, the FSH, the hormones that the brain is releasing to the womb to activate the menstruation cycle. uh, and also, like, when it comes to like cramping and things of that nature, this is all biochemical warfare when it comes to what you're ingesting, what you're consuming, in terms of your mental space and your physical body, and also the movement within your body. So I mean, this can also be in relation to so many other underlying illnesses. I mean, it could be eating disorders. I had a best friend at the time. She had ovarian cysts, because I mean, she was like bulimic. She just like wasn't retaining any body fat. So certain things like that, when it comes to your eating habits as well, very, very important. So important. You really need to cleanse when it comes to those things showing up within the vagina. I mean, it's definitely curable. But all that you do, like if you go to a doctor, what they're gonna do is just give you, they basically take what's already organic. They take organic herbs, organic medicines, and then they synthesize them and make them synthetic and put them into capsules, and into other things so that you can have quicker results. But I think that the healing process so much more intentional, beautiful, and holistic when you listen to your soul, to your spirit, and you do all that you can and utilize your resources, because you have so many resources. You know what I mean? We're in the age of Aquarius, so if you need an answer to anything, you get an answer within seconds. So if there's something that you're specifically going through, I definitely say look into that. And then also figure out, based off of the information that I have given you, in accordance to your eating habits, and your thought processes, and your physical being, like what's going on with you physically. Do you have high blood pressure? Do you, like, all those other factors come into line? And then also asking yourself if you're on any other medications that can also impact your vaginal health as well. And in some really odd cases, it could just be dormant, stagnant energy that has materialized into these illnesses. Maybe a certain interaction that you had with somebody that you weren't able to cleanse, that energy ended up materializing, because energy cannot be destroyed, only transmuted. So that's something that I do as well.
Absolutely. I'm thankful, Goddess. Thank you so much for your wisdom. I want to take this time to just, like I always do, I always do it. And please just allow me to do it. Just give you your flowers. I appreciate you for coming in and being a divine channel for those who need to hear these things. She said that she's had two ovarian cyst ruptures in the last 10 years. That's crazy. But like I said, like sis said, it is it is energetical. It is what you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also when I said look into that book has man. When I say that has everything you need to know, it has a lot to do with cis as well. And also I would say smother your mind into in womb wellness and womb healing if that's what you're going through. Like, get so into womb healing that's like you it's like the second, what's the word, like the back of, the back of your hand. That's what I meant. Like you just know it. You get your mind into it. Like if you have social media, smother your social media, but by following all these women that is into womb wellness and holistic health, like Queen Afua. There's also what's her name, Chef Aki, to look into. Chef Aki got the gems when it comes down to food and what to eat to
I is on it, man.
yeah.
In terms of cysts, what that is, that's just a benign tumor. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a form of cancer. It's
She
benign. So really, it all comes down to, what are you eating? Are you smoking? You know what I
mm,
mean? Are you drinking alcohol? Okay, because all those things will impact your womb health, especially smoking and drinking and eating dairy and meat. Once you cut all of those things out of your lifestyle, it's about substituting them for raw. You're gonna want to go raw. You're gonna want to go.
wow.
You're going.
Right.
You're dealing with all of that. You need a detox, like a massive detox. So then it would be go raw vegan, raw plant based. So you're eating all of your fruits, your vegetables, your nuts, in their raw state. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
drinking as many fluids as you possibly can to cleanse
Mm-hmm.
out the body. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then you gotta cut out anything that's toxic people, toxic situations, toxic places. You need to go into remediation ASAP. And
Mm-hmm.
you got to do whatever therapies you have to do, because more than likely it's an endocrine situation. It's just the yeah.
Absolutely. And also the just having more oxygen in your body. The disease, it thrives in a environment that's filled with sugar, of course, but also like that's not oxidated. Like you need to breathe. You need to fill your body up with possibly alkaline foods, raw alkaline foods, that things that electrify your body, but also hydrate your body as well. More, watermelons and cucumbers and lettuce, things that hold has water retention, those type of things. Just hydrating and also giving your body oxygen in the best ways. Going out to nature can be just so healing in itself, grounding yourself and taking off your shoes and putting your feet on the grass. Like those things help heal the body as well, and help regulate your hormones. So you're not as stressed out or being triggered or triggering something in your body to have some kind of fight or flight response. Like these things contribute to disease. So just definitely look into the breath work. Sis, I'm telling y'all, get on this breath work. Sis got this beautiful class every day, every rising. A
Join
breath.
my,
Go ahead, sis.
to join my Patreon, join my Patreon, join my Patreon, y'all. Because,
Ag-
if you need help, really solidifying yourself in your day, because this is healing is not I snap my fingers and I'm healed. Healing takes consistency, it takes developing a healing lifestyle. You go from dieting to lifestyle,
Mhm.
rearrangement. Okay, so that means waking up, doing your breath, your yoga, doing your meditations, doing your journaling, doing your exercises, walking around. You have to really be about the healing in order to. It has to be all you do, think, breathe, that it has to become who you are. So if you need help
Mhm.
with accountability and you want to do this with sisters around you who are also devoting themselves to the practice, then join my Patreon so that you can have access to where we're all doing the healing together.
Yes, absolutely. And it's good to have accountability partners. It's good to keep yourself accountable by joining a group. Oh my God, I trust me, it's much more easier doing it with the group because it keeps me, excited. Also, just to see people's faces and just to connect through our experiences afterwards. When we was done today, she always does this reflective thing, and I'm not gonna tell too much because they need to come in to check it out, see what is going on. But it's a very very beautiful experience every time. We're connecting with these women and we're telling our experience we had during the breath. So you're having spiritual experiences during your breath work. Like it's a beautiful thing and it's very healing. So I would definitely say, I just put the links in the comment box again. Please do follow her on Instagram and please do get on her Patreon, and sign up for her services. She has yoga classes coming up as well, and she's also doing a beautiful full moon ceremony tonight. So get into it, y'all. It's This is the healing, this is the work. And she, like you said, it's you want to be submerged in it. You want to make it a lifestyle. Healing, holistic health is a lifestyle. And I'm just talking to myself as well because I definitely got off of it. I lost my track, but now I'm getting back on, and it feels amazing to do so. So this is why we're doing this. I want to encourage everyone to be a part of the healing journey with us. She is a very very beautiful teacher, and just listening to her, you can just tell. Like just listening to her, you can just feel the divinity, and it's in all of us. It's just what I'm saying. It just doing this work. She's definitely the testimony, the testament of what it looks like and what we can all tap into. So I definitely want to thank you, Goddess. Again, it's been the hour mark. Does anybody have any more questions? This has have been a very beautiful live, and I want to continuously go, but I'm not sure what your time is looking like.
Are there any more questions?
Not well. There is one. The BPR says, "How can you manifest from sexual energy?"
All right, so we'll do one more question and then I'm gonna come off of this. One is about to.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
Actually, I mean, you only asking because you already know.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're already asking because you already know. Um, Yeah, right. Absolutely. And I say this all the time. Sex is everything, right? Because everything is because it was created, right? Everything
Mhm.
is because it was created, and creation is the energy of sex, and sex is the energy of creation. Therefore, everything is creation because it has both elements of masculine and feminine energy applied to come together to materialize on the physical plane, which makes it a form or a byproduct of sex. So even this conversation is sex because I'm utilizing, and Yaki broke this down. And I said, what? Utilizing
Mhm.
both hemispheres of the brain, the left and the right side of the brain being feminine, the left side of the brain being masculine, and utilizing them to configure thoughts and then to share those thoughts with somebody else who's also having sex in their mind, and then we're coming together to converge and have sex in the conversation, and then you're joining this, and that's a form of union, which is sex, right? And that's really what creation is when things come together to form something new, right? And
Mhm.
that's everything. That's
Mhm.
everything is constantly in a state of creation. Even death is a form of creation. So yeah, there's that.
Absolutely. Um, I believe the way the person is trying to say is how do
Oh
you? Yeah. I mean, I mean that he did say what the can you? But I feel like the person is trying to say how. Can you explain how of that if your time permits?
yeah. So you just okay. So if you're having I just found out that women can manifest um, sexually together. I didn't 100
What?
no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that women can manifest sexually together.
What do
Um,
you mean? Like as when they have sexual intercourse together, they can do it together?
Not intercourse because we don't
Uh-huh.
have penises, but
Uh-huh.
we can still utilize the principles of masculine and feminine energy to create on this plane. So we can actually do that. It's not actually about the sex of the person or the gender of the person. And now
Uh-huh.
this blew my mind. Now, I mean, if you want to create a baby though, like a physical baby, you're gonna need a man, you're gonna need a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just want to create a concept, then you can have sex with anybody to do that. You want to create something on the physical plane, you want to call in some money, you want to, whatever it is, you want to create more opportunities in your community, whatever it is, you can
Mm-hmm.
have anybody to pull forth that energy so long as there is a unification of both of your frequencies, of your breath, of your movements, you know what I mean, of your intention. And that union is the sex. That's the concept of unifying is the sex. Is the sex itself. So the manifestation process is just bringing forth something intentionally into the physical realm, right? That's the forth of that is what manifest means. It's just to create, with the mental space. So you can align with someone, be it masculine, feminine, whatever they want to go by, and with the intention, holding the intention of creating something in your mental
Mm-hmm.
space, and then by synchronizing your breath, by synchronizing your movement, by synchronizing your intentions, right? And that's when the union comes forth. You can then have sex on the physical plane to manifest what you both are thinking of, because everything is first mental. That's the first principle of this universe, is everything is first mental. Before we had a bridge, someone had to think of a bridge. Before we had mirrors, someone had to think, oh, that's a mirror. So it has to be first called forth in the mental plane. And I would encourage you guys to even state it clearly. Like, okay, I'm manifesting XYZ. And instead of saying you're manifesting it, you can say that you already have it. I have
Mm-hmm.
it. This is what I'm calling in, or whatever the case is, right? And then you unify on that frequency. You converge sexually using your sexual organs, okay, or your entire body, because that doesn't just, it's not limited to your sexual organs. Sex is not limited to your sexual organs. Sex can also simply just be like intimate touch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, If you want more information on this, you can join my OnlyFans. Yeah, I dive
Mm.
on my OnlyFans. I'm literally like butt naked. Like I'm butt naked telling y'all. I'm giving y'all all the gems on my OnlyFans, and I will be doing some sexual intimacy healing sessions um, online and in person because I think it's 100% needed for our community to learn how to heal themselves sexually. We're just carrying so much shame and so much pain and so much trauma that is so difficult for us to manifest with that portal, which is actually the number one portal to do it with. So we have to really heal, and it's important to do it in community, so we can dismantle these belief systems and realize that you're not alone in how you feel.
Mm. Absolutely. Thank you, Goddess. This has been amazing, amazing panel. Thank y'all so much for being here and being a part of this live. Thank you, Goddess, for being here also and just saying your wisdom. Again, y'all, the links are in the comment box. Go ahead and sign up for her Patreon and go on her Instagram. All the links are also on her Instagram as well in the bio. You can see her OnlyFans there as well. Okay. Is there anything, any closing remarks and statements would you like to say?
Oh, so my Patreon is and my OnlyFans is $22 a month. It's literally nothing when you look at it compared to just daily purchases, y'all. This is just an investment into accountability or information that you seek for your own journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely everything's an investment. How are you investing your energy? How are you investing your time? How are you investing your money? Um, and other than that, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I
Wherever.
love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Goddess. And I'll see you tomorrow or today, later on today.
Later on today, yeah, for the
Yeah.
ceremony.
For the ceremony. Okay.
Oh, it's been 1 minute and 11 seconds. I love you.
Yeah, I see it. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So, with that being said, y'all, thank y'all so much. Peace, love, and light. Have a wonderful night. And we'll see y'all later. Peace.